Good morning, everyone. Today is 6th July, Wednesday, and we are discussing the Hindu. On the front page, we have a news about Environment Protection Act. Government has suggested some changes into this, and they have asked. On the second page, we do not have any important news as such. The next news that we have is on the editorials. In editorial, we have a very good article by Z.R. Gopinath, who is the founder of the Air Deccan. The founder of the Air Deccan in this article is talking about the problems which are being faced by the aviation industry. He has compared, there's some very good data in which he has compared the condition of Indian domestic airlines with the global airlines and how small Indian market still is. Has also talked about some of the legal hurdles in importing the spare parts, the high taxes on the fuel and all, and he had suggested some of the measures to improve this situation. This editorial piece is about the fake news regarding Rahul Gandhi, which was aired on some of the news channels, although it's not very important for us from exams perspective. This article again is very important article about the handcuffing. As per recent judgment of Karnataka High Court, a person was handcuffed by the police as per the law or as per the directions of the court before. No person should be handcuffed if they are abiding the law, if they are not a risk. But this person was handcuffed, and High Court has put a penalty on the police officer who has put those handcuffs on that person. The author, who is himself a former Director General of Police, an IPS officer, he's saying that such directions from the High Court are not always implementable because we do not know in what condition, in what situation the accused is. There's always a chance that they can flee, and police is always, there is always a lack of manpower and all. So while judiciary is trying to uphold the human rights of the patient, human rights of the accused, they should also keep in mind that the provisions remain practical, and instead of punishing such police officers, they should ask the states to make better provisions. This article is The next article is about the rising import and rising trade deficits. What you can do is you can read about the India's top exporting items. You can read, or if you're not reading at present, at least when the economic survey will come, or we should make a list of all the important items which India is importing, all the important items that India exports. Some of them are mentioned here. Although the data is not very important, but you should try to go through this article to understand the economic implications. The next article is about helping Sri Lanka more meaningfully. The author, as we discussed in the last class about the role of IMF and all, the author is saying that IMF, even if they will help the Sri Lanka, they will ask for austerity measures. They will ask the state to cut down their subsidies, etc., which will not be that good for the common citizens of Sri Lanka. And in this case, India can step in and can help Sri Lanka. They have given some data that India by now have helped or provided Sri Lanka of an assistance of about $3.5 billion already. And what more India can do has been suggested here. The next article is about our fight with the tuberculosis or TB. The author is saying that the WHO recommendations to fight TB are not working, and India should try to make some adjustments, some changes into those directives. He has suggested three measures that can be taken to do the same. Indian Prime Minister in 2018 has announced that by 2025 we will eliminate TB. The author is saying that if we will continue following the world WHO's recommendations, this target will be very difficult to achieve. The next article, although not very important, is you should know that this government is trying to reform the overall educational system in their state, and they have made English compulsory. See, there are two things going on here. Very interesting news. Here, Andhra Pradesh is making English compulsory and they're training their teachers, and the state machinery is thinking about how they will train so many teachers for English. And if you'll see in Delhi, in DU, the lecturers, the ad hoc lecturers of English are fearing that they will lose their jobs because many of the departments where English was compulsory, now it has been made optional. तो देख रहे हैं इंडिया में एजुकेशन को लेके कितना डाइवर्सिटी चल रहा है. Next, on the text on context page, we have an article about the exit of foreign portfolio investors from India. If you can just read this paragraph and decode this paragraph, you will understand the rest of it. This is the most important paragraph here, which we'll be discussing in the evening class. This article is very important article about the China's Belt and Road Initiative. We were discussing about this in the previous classes as well. So this article is actually taking a look at how successful China's Belt and Road Initiative has been in South Asia. So this Belt and Road Initiative has proved not so good for Pakistan, very dangerous for Sri Lanka. They have, China itself has tried to not to engage that much with Afghanistan. In Maldives, they had initial successes, but China has been replaced by India. Now we have a friendly administration there. The only country which we can say has benefited from BRI is Bangladesh, and they have been able to maintain a very good balance between India and China and have used the investment from both the countries for their own betterment. So that's the news today. This another news is a little bit political, but it gives us a very good understanding about how the politics of our country is moving. One of the reasons for the electoral victories of BJP is considered is the BJP's political push with the backward classes among Hindus. BJP focused a lot or tried very hard to get the vote of OBCs and have been successful in getting the vote of OBC communities, and which converted into their electoral victory into UP. But now, in the recent meeting, Prime Minister Modi is saying that now we should focus upon the minorities, especially the minorities who are weaker, who are poor, Instead of seeing minorities communities like Muslim or Christianity as a monolith, all the Muslims will not vote for us or all the Christians will not vote for us. If the BJP can focus on poor minorities who have different interests, a poor Muslim is probably is not that much concerned about what is being said for the Navi. They're much more concerned about the food on their table. So if the government can be able to provide those services, probably they can think of gaining their support in the elections as well. Can be a game changer if it succeeds. The next is about center asks states to boost paddy sowing. Recently, the paddy sowing areas have fallen drastically. Government want more states to sow the paddy because if the paddy will not be grown, we can face food security challenges which comes under GS paper 3. Next is on the world news, we have a very important news. The next G20 meeting is supposed to be happening in Kashmir. The next G20 meeting is supposed to be happening in Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan is opposing this by saying that Kashmir is a disputed territory. Any such global meeting should not be held in such area. China, with which we recently had a talk, and there are talks of growing friendship and all and peaceful negotiations. China is supporting the Pakistan's claim that yes, G20 meetings should not happen in Kashmir. So that shows the hypocrisy of China against India. Fields Medal is the highest award given in the field of mathematics. It's considered as the Nobel of Mathematics, which is given to a woman from Ukraine, Mariana Vyazovska. So that's the news for the day. We will meet again tomorrow. Bye.